Good afternoon, everybody. Um, First, like to thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity, as well as, of course, my university for letting me represent it. I've been hearing a lot today about various aspects, and it's been wonderful to see what the different universities have been doing with regards to skilling the students and so forth. Here is something that I would like to share about Graphic Era, deemed to be university as well. So, Graphic Era group of institutions, as you can see, it has two universities, one school, one hospital, and four campuses. And this was initiated by the dream of our chairman, Professor Kamal Ghanshala, who started with basically a two-room training center in computer science, but then expanded to what I have just said to you. His vision is transforming dreams into reality for students. So the journey for him started in 1993, as I said, with a two-room training center. But by 2008, the university was awarded the deemed to be university status. And then by 2019, it was ranked as top engineering institution in Uttarakhand, which is the state of India. Finally, in 2023, as you can see, it's ranked amongst top 55 universities in India by the National Institutional Ranking Framework. So, moving on, as I said to you, we are two sister universities. Today I'll be talking about the Graphic Era deemed to be university. As you can see, it is a beautiful campus on the foothills of Himalayan mountains in the city of Dehradun. Next to it is the Graphic Era Hill University. And this university has three campuses, the one which is right in Dehradun, as well as another one, perhaps the most beautiful campus in the mountains in a region called Bhimtal. And once again, at the foothills of Himalayas in a city called Haldwani, or rather a town called Haldwani. Just recently, a state-of-the-art hospital has been completed, and I think just the picture itself shows you the magnanimity of it in terms of how beautiful, how big, and not only is it a hospital, the state-of-the-art, but it's also the Institute of Medical Sciences. So I believe that this is going to be the flagship in the coming years of Graphic Era University as well. We do have a global school, and there is yet another secondary school that is currently being built. So in terms of just few examples of research activities, this is of course very disturbing what is going on outside, but I hope we can just see, sorry about that. It's just to give you a flavor of what the infrastructure for research is. Definitely, a university is a big place. I cannot cover all the disciplines in terms of what facilities exist, but just as I said, just a few examples. So here is the Tata Technology Center of Excellence, and as you can see, the various centers that are there within this Center of Excellence, whether it is the advanced manufacturing, the manufacturing execution system, the mechatronics, the teardown, and the technology validation. Then we have the actively controlled turbulent wind tunnel, which was the first energy efficient wind tunnel of its kind in India. Again, as you can also see, the funding associated with it. Then the remote sensing and GIS lab, first ever application of the remote sensing for water quality modeling of high altitude lakes, again in the Himalayan region. And then again, the seismic stimulation lab. As I said, these are just a few examples. And of course, I belong to the life sciences discipline. And currently, our Vice Chancellor, who's seated here in front of me, he's been instrumental in developing a very, very state-of-the-art central facility with all the very modern equipment, which I'm not showcasing here. So how do we sponsor research? Well, of course, I'm sure this is something that other universities are doing as well. The seed funding of up to 1 crore, it is supporting the research projects at all different stages, whether it is at very early stage, maturing stage, or it's going from projects to the licensing or to the spin-out stage. So what I wanted to do was to give you a flavor of 2 such examples where the seed funding has finally led to the transfer of academic inventions to the benefit of society. And one of the things here is a project which is to grow the Himalayan high-altitude turmeric. Now, most of you all know that it is used as a spice, but because of its antioxidative and anti-inflammatory activities, turmeric right now, consumption of turmeric has become quite a, it's pretty much globally of interest. So the turmeric at high altitudes, it's having a curcumin, which is the bioactive component. The content of curcumin is about 7 to 12%, as opposed to the 5 to 8% in whatever the commercially grown turmeric that is available in the market. And so here, the researchers, they basically identified villages in the Himalayan region. And currently, there are about 15 villages, about 100 farmers who have been given the seed of the rhizomes of the turmeric to plant and to actually increase their income. And perhaps in the coming few years, we will know the exact impact of this particular project. But definitely, it is benefiting the rural women of the Himalayan region. And it isn't just an example. Now here you can see how people have been sensitized. The farmers and the children have been enthused about growing this high-altitude turmeric. And currently it is being sold by Traditional International, which is a startup recognized by the MSME of the government of Uttarakhand. Then we have another invention that was very recently adopted by or commercialized by a company. And this is the kit, RT-PCR-based kit to detect typhoid. Most of you all know that typhoid is affecting more than 100,000 people a year. And the tests that are currently available are not highly efficient. So using nucleic acid, which is the bacterial, well, in this case, bacterial DNA, as the base, and using specific primers, this PCR kit was developed, or rather, during the COVID challenge. And then it has recently been commercialized by the Vanguard Diagnostics. And you can see that the researchers there, they were present in the Pragati Maidan of the fair that was conducted last year. And obviously the product was launched at that time. So how do we further nurture innovation and creativity? I guess, again, universities do have incubators. In this case, again, we are talking Uttarakhand. This was established in 2015 by the Government of India's Department of Science and Technology, DST, that most of you must know. It was the first incubator to be recognized in the state in 2018. And of course, you know, like any incubator, it affords the space, the infrastructure, mentoring and training programs. So what has come out of it? Well, about 75 startups that were recognized. There were some 30 that are incubating, and just the valuation of startups has been sort of, you know, estimated at 500 crore plus. Of the ones that have come out, and there are only few examples that are being shown here, the Sun Fox and the D Town, they are highly successful. The Sun Fox has made a very small ECG machine, the smallest of its kind. And of course, they are into further smart medical medical instruments. The D-Town is a company that is devising, designing, manufacturing robotics and drones and so forth. So these are the two real examples, but then there are many others that have spun off from the incubator. And as a result of these innovations, Graphic Era University has been positioned in the band of 51 to 100 in the innovation category by the NIRF of India. So some of the research highlights, just to summarize, that we have about 511 approximately PhD students, 7,300 publications in the last year, many patents that have been published, and as you can also see that, you know, external funding in the range of 45 million by many different funding agencies, both state and federal. So here are just some examples which I don't expect you to read, but I did put the slide up just to say that, okay, there are many, and these are only few examples of the research projects and the patents that have been granted, but by no means we are focusing on reading them. Now, sustainability projects are close to my heart, and I've just put up a slide to summarize some of the projects. By no means, again, this is a complete picture of the sustainability projects, but we are working very closely with the NGOs, with industry, in trying to develop the Himalayan region in a sustainable way. So there is a virtual center of research for sustainable development of the Himalayan region, which will become obvious on the website very soon. But at the moment, we just are building the website on that. So I've already talked about the turmeric project. There's also bioprospecting of the Himalayan millets. There's orchid cultivation opportunities in the Himalayan region. One of the projects that has really taken, has really come to fruition is where grass, a native grass of the Himalayan region, nettle grass, which is also called the bichu grass, it grows wild, but is a source of very good fiber, durable and sustainable fiber, or rather biodegradable fiber, and that has been converted into beautiful clothing, and that is probably at the stage of perhaps being commercialized. Then we have other projects as well. So just to show you that here's the Amla Indian gooseberry. One of our researchers developed gooseberry-based biodegradable ionic polymer skin, and what the skin does, that it can be attached to the human body parts, and it can detect changes such as breathing signals, finger bending, heartbeats, etc. The other one is the sugarcane juice, which has been utilized to make these biodegradable carry bags, and of course in the future it's still at this stage. But as it gets further developed and commercialized, one of the important things that I should point out here is that in addition to being biodegradable, these bags can take up to 10 kilograms, quite durable. And if this goes to the market, then hopefully that'll be an extra income to the farmers. Yet another example of recycling paper and then making it into different products. So just coming to the last bit, which is the placements, where Graphic Era is really setting the benchmark. Now more than 4,000 offers, you can see here, were rolled out by some of the biggest organizations in the world in the year 2023. The organizations are listed below, and I'm sure you would recognize them. So the question is, how do we go about it? And here is just a general picture of it, that of course, you know, we start out early, preparing them for placements from day one. And of course, there are all the world class experts that we expose our students to. Continuous evaluation, which we have heard a lot about today as well. And of course, skilling in those cutting edge skills that the industry requires, which we've also heard a lot about. But really coming to the specifics, I would say that a team of really dedicated experts prepares these students right from the beginning. But more specifically, we also have a career skills course that is embedded in the curriculum. And then the students are trained in technical skills with special focus on competitive programming, data structure, and algorithms to solve various programs. But then how do we go further into it is that towards the end, 35 to 40-day placement drive is conducted for students, where in addition to the classroom inputs and practice sheets, they are given these mock written tests as well as mock group discussions, all based on the patterns of or the needs of the industry. Finally, they are identified and categorized. These are the students based on their performance in diagnostic test, and then they are provided with customized training to prepare them for these placement opportunities. They are also well prepared for CAT and GRE, GMAT, and GATE and all that. But then finally, they are assessed on third-party placement portals like Aspiring Minds, CoCubes, and Elitmus. So I guess with these examples, I hope I've been able to give you a flavor of how the integrated approaches and efforts at Graphic Era University is what is perhaps driving the excellence in research, innovation, and placements of our students. Thank you very much.